Would you like to? I'm happy if we want to keep on going. I'm also happy if you want to just give comments, and uh, the decision has to be made. Is this worthwhile pursuing for the upcoming Kickstarter? And do we have enough data to go on, or do you want to play again, or just any comments that you have?
I've
I
also,
think, oh, you go, Nate.
oh, I was gonna say, if the three-player team gets any passive powers that aren't in C, that's the only thing that like kind of differentiates it from the two-player team in some sense. I mean, obviously, like there's the weird god rotation thing, but the only reason why you'd expect the three-player team to be stronger than the two-player team is if they get like something like that. I think, like without before any other info, I guess.
Especially on the two extreme positions.
Yeah, exactly. If it gets in the middle, it doesn't actually like mean more than any regular old passive, which isn't saying a lot. I mean, regular passives in four-player are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have predicted that Hera was going to be dominant there.
I had hoped differently, but yeah, it was pretty overwhelming. But look how many domes, we
Yeah.
got in the central squares of the board. So
Oh yeah.
held out for a while. The thing I seem to notice the most is there with so many different powers and turn orders and things, there are a lot of unique opportunities to strategize against the other team that you wouldn't necessarily have in a two or even four player game. For example, there are certain moves that I wouldn't have wanted to make against an upcoming Apollo's turn, but because Apollo was, four or five turns away, we could strategize based off of that. And same thing for the other team and setting up Dionysus, like after my turns, I really didn't have to fear Dionysus at all. So I think that is kind of unique to the five player way of doing things, if that makes sense.
I have to say that I was quite pessimistic about the five players before playing it, but now that I see that it's a new unique variant, the fact that the two-player teams has to play twice the same god, and then twice the other god, and this makes a whole new perspective on the game. Like having to play Hestia twice and then Eros twice allows you to set up a lot of threats. And without Hera, I don't think we would have been able to deny them. And it was, yeah, it's a nice new variant of the game, I would say.
It's one of the things I find interesting about Santorini is that it plays very differently at different player counts. And I think this is interesting because it is very different still from four players.
But I believe that the choice of the god powers is even more important than in four players.
Yeah, I agree. I think that part of the game, like for your average player, let's say somebody just picking the game up, that could be something very quick and clinical that they just throw out five cards and that's the powers they choose, or you could really invest some time thinking that out to a T and find, an overwhelming matchup or a matchup that is balanced. But I could see people putting a lot of thought into just the choice of the powers before the game's even played.
For all of these different modes of play, there will be recommendations made. And you guys can be part of those recommendations for 2, 3, 4 player games, and for other modes of play.
Do you have an idea of what that would look like for this five player format specifically?
Well, just based on this single,
Just what we did.
just based on this single game, I could imagine switching out Hestia for, Hades, for example, and let's have two of these passive gods, and then I think it's much tighter. or switching out Hera for something like Zeus. Happy to play again. Happy to call it a day. Your choice.
I'd play more.
Okay, I'm just going to rename this, so relabel this. Whichever one of these.
Oh, to assign the powers.
Yeah,
Is this the Cronus with a 4
Correct.
dome on the board variant?
correct. This is Kronos 4.
Ah.
And actually the windows on the, okay, so we've got Demeter, Zeus, Artemis. I want Minotaur in there. And let's go with Minotaur being a fringe power. So let's assign that to A.
Okay,
Let's assign Hades to D.
okay,
Let's assign Atlas to B. Bia to
Atlas plus Hades.
Atlas and Hades will be on one team.
you know what? Let's not do Bia. Let's do Artemis as an E power. And then the one in the middle, we will make Cronus.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did that in such a weird random order. I was just kind of thinking through what might be interesting, but not completely overpowered.
Cronus in the center against Atlas on one of the 4-player things seems a little spooky. Oh, yeah, one of the 2-player teams, so therefore one of the people that gets half turns.
I think Minotaur is going to be not a fun player with Atlas being in there.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's good.
Well, yeah, Atlas is also pretty good against Artemis as well.
Yeah, I think the 2-man team might be better here. Although unless Cronus has something, but Atlas is good against Cronus too, so it's awkward.
Yeah, that's why I figured to pair it with Hades, because it's kind of like one really decent thing and then another like eh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's roll this and we can see if it's interesting or not.
Okay. Let's go with Bertrand choosing first.
I'm going to choose Atlas.
Okay. Nate?
I'll stick with my claim and choose Hades, I guess.
Right. David?
I'm going with Cronus. Probably the first time I pick Cronus.
Okay. I'll go with Minotaur.
Artemis is fine by me.
Okay. So I'm going to begin as Minotaur. And
This Hades and Atlas combo might be very strong.
oh,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be very strong. Do you want to
And
switch? Do you want to switch Minotaur and Atlas?
I'm
No,
fine.
no,
I'm
no.
fine with that.
I'm interested in seeing how this plays out.
Okay, good, good,
Oh,
good.
okay. Yeah, I figured any fringe power should be one of the stronger of the mix. I mean, just in the way that I thought about it, and it could be that Artemis and Atlas may want to be swapped or something. But yeah, we can see how this goes too.
But the Kronos is with 4 towers or 5?
Cronus is with 4 towers.
Okay.
But that's also strong against that because you can cap the tower before being a complete tower.
Mhm.
So I think I'll position the workers in C2 and C4.
C2 and C4.
So the only worker D4 to C4 and build on B4.
Hades. Nate.
I think the only worker that makes sense to move here is the E4 one, and I think the space that I want to go is definitely D4. So I just need to figure out where to build. Which is incidentally the tough part.
Sorry?
Give me a second. I'll build on E5. Five.
E5, sorry. Done. And Kevin, Artemis.
This is rough. In retrospect, I wish we had more Minotaur turns, I think.
I believe Atlas is denying Cronus way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this would have made sense as a matchup with Cronus actually on like the end of the team 3.
Yeah, that also would have been interesting.
I think the swap of Minotaur to the 2-person team probably just makes more sense.
Yeah, I can
With,
imagine
like,
swapping Minotaur and
Atlas.
Atlas. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can imagine that
Yeah.
being a good game. I like the conflict between Atlas and Kronos on the same team. I think that's very interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that would strengthen Minotaur automatically to have that tension on the opposite team.
Mhm.
I really don't have very good options here, but I think I may just move on to B4 and lay a level 1 on C4 because or maybe B3. I'm sorry. Let's.
Nate, Hades.
Yeah.
I think I had to be on C4, but anyway, D4 to
Yeah, I think so
D5
too.
build E4.
D4 to E4?
E5.
E5? Right.
If you put it on C4, then you're able to move to D4 here, but I'm still able to just move on to like D4 after that. So I don't think it's a huge difference.
I do think we're in a lot of trouble on the good team.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah, that was a mistake.
B4 to B3 and build in C2. No, you had no other option.
Yeah, he
That
could have
was
built on
either
C4, but that
that-
only delays a turn anyway.
If I built on C4, you guys would just jump up there and take it and build off of it. And we'd
Yeah.
still be in the same predicament.
Yeah,
Um,
it would just like save you guys a turn, is what I was saying.
and at the very least, if Atlas turn came up, and even if you never moved the D4 guy at all, if he just jumps on to the E column and builds a dome in D4, you guys would have a pretty indestructible win
Yeah.
without us being able to move D2 in order to get a dome on E3. We're kind of cut off from defense options down there.
Yeah, okay, that does check out. Yeah, that's fair.
Are we going to resign?
Yeah, it's over.
So just checking, Kevin, how frustrating was it for you to be on the end?
Oh yeah, I suppose Kevin got 2 turns.
Yeah,
this game?
yeah, it kind of having half the turns or the influence over the game, and I mean it was a different experience. I don't want to say it's negative because I was still kind of thinking through the rest of the turns and everything. But I was left with a feeling of if I'd picked the powers slightly differently in a slightly different order, you know, such and such, kind of reliving through the results of those early choices a lot more. Kind of thinking, you know, maybe it's not necessarily what we played or where we moved and where we built, but if powers had been in different orders, it might have influenced the game more than individual player decision, if that makes sense.
Yeah, part of the game is trying to make a balanced setup of the power.
I'm guessing that we all could now do it much, much better than we could an hour ago. But do we want to call it a day, or are you in for one more experience?
So I have time for one more.
Yeah, I have time.
Sure. Yeah, same
Okay.
here. Probably just one.
Yeah, this will be the last one then. So we have here 2 Hypnos and Aphrodite as being, and we can throw in any of the other ones that you've had too. So just Todi, do you want to design the whole platform from left to right?
Okay. Let's pick. Do you have Iris?
Ooh.
Oh, it would take me a while to find, but I definitely will have her somewhere. And we can just remember her too. That's the other option. Okay, yeah, we'll remember Iris.
Okay, if that's okay, we can play with some other power. Zeus.
And what position would you like for Zeus?
Let me just pick the powers
Okay,
first,
got it.
and
Got it.
maybe is is Siren over there?
I should have organized. This was just a spontaneous thing because it didn't work. It'll take me a while to find everything.
Okay, just Zeus, Hermes. Estia. And okay, let's go with Apollo and no, not Apollo. Demeter and Artemis. Let's go with some.
Two movers, three builders.
Yeah, and in the same team. Let's go with switch Artemis with Hermes.
Hmm. That seems sensible.
Okay.
So Artemis and Demeter in the same team.
That's the world. Okay.
And you want them in that order, right? No, like because switching Artemis and Demeter does have an impact and stuff. I have no clue what that impact is, though. I was just checking.
Maybe let's then switch. No, I think like this because I was thinking in the Three Gods team if Estia should be in the middle or not, but I think it should because it is the strongest power.
Yeah.
Hey, so Nate, why don't you go first and choose who you want to be?
Hmm. Well, I think I'll take Hestia. Sounds fun being in the center of the three man.
And Bertrand?
I will try Zeus.
And Kevin?
I think I'll do Hermes this time.
Okay. I will do Artemis. And Zeus, you are up first. That is,
Yeah.
that's Bertrand.
So this pulls. I think I want to take the middle and C2.
Okay. I'm going to take here and here. There and there.
Good call.
Hestia. Nate.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it for the audience.
Oh, I see.
Not that this is really worthy of audience with these crazy things written, but anyway, I think there's going to be a few people on the Roxley team that may want to see what you guys think of this. Maybe not watch the whole game, maybe more just concluding comments.
I'll go C3 to C4. And I'll do the boring line where I build on something like D5, I guess. C5.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, Demeter. Toady.
Okay.
The fun line is where I do something like build on B4 c4 and d4 in just a like. I'll take one, you guys get the other.
Let's go with d3 to d4. And build on e3 and e4.
Hermes. Kevin, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. My brain needs a startup time for every turn.
I'm refreshing my own. Yeah.
I think I'll go ahead and climb onto c5 and build. No, actually, I'm sorry. Let's move simply to d5, or I'm sorry, from c2 to d3 and build a single time on e3.
E3.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the ambition and like the vocalization of that move. Yeah. The single time was your choice.
Just once. Because that's my power.
Demeter with David. I'm actually wondering if Hestia, whenever Hestia, Zeus, and Hermes are all paired up, tripled up together, if Hestia is still the most powerful, it might be that the most powerful is the one that's the odd person out, meaning Hermes being the mover.
Oh, I would have thought Zeus being the jumper was the most important here.
I think Zeus paired with any type of double builder.
Yeah, that wreaks
gives
havoc.
some pretty good synergy, personally.
Hermes is also very good at defending.
Yeah.
I think. Just
That's the one end helps
execution.
us get to level 2, and the other end makes it terrifying us being on level 2. Well, defensively.
And
then the
also
middle end
Hermes
is what
against
squeezes out value.
Hermes against like a Hephaestus, something that can build twice on itself on the same square, or a Hestia. I feel like Demeter's a little less threatening because she tends to flatten the board, which is something a Hermes would tend to prefer and move easily across.
Right.
Let's go with e4 to d4 to e4 and build on e5.
Hestia, Nate.
Yeah. Hmm. Give me a moment. There's a lot of really weird looking moves I'm considering here. Yeah, especially with Artemis up next twice instead of it being like Demeter. I think I'll do D3 to C2. Double build C3.
Artemis. Zeus.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would like to jump in the middle, but I don't think it works.
Oh,
So I'll take the C2 worker, go to D3, and build under myself.
oh,
I wanted to do that in D4 with the other worker, but then I guess we get trapped.
Sorry.
yeah, that gets messy after moving to D3.
Where am I building?
Under D3.
Sorry?
Under D3. Just under the worker I moved.
Oh,
No, like
In a
just
D3.
using
sorry.
Zeus's power.
D.
Build
I
on
use my power.
Sorry.
And Zeus, yeah.
Normie. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's probably better for me to just like make it so they'd be able to move up to a level 2, but this seemed kind of fun. So we're back to Artemis now.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So
Interestingly, I guess in this mode, knowing whose turn it is isn't enough to know who goes next without like some added indicator. Not inherently, unless it's like one of the ends.
Hestia.
I'll move D3 to E3. And we'll double build the thing far away from you. D2, I think. Sorry, I have my zoom window covering up the numbers. There we go. That looks good.
So let's go to from B3 to C2. And build on B2 and C1.
Hermes. Kevin.
I think what I'd like to do is jump up to D3 with the C4 worker and build on D2. And that way it'll give Hestia the central square.
Yeah, I like it.
Since Demeter's only going to be able to build over one of those, and they can't level 3 block us.
Demeter.
I think it also keeps Aramis far away from doing a tactic that they might have wished to do.
Let's go with C2, C1. And build on D2 and C2.
He wanted his second build to be on C2, I believe.
Yep, C2.
But don't we lose?
No,
no,
he
no.
said D2 and C2.
So, oh, D2 and C2. Sorry. Okay. Done. Hestia.
I don't think I see a like. Actually, no. Yeah, I don't think that works out well for us at all. So with that in mind, let's just. I will move D3 to C3. Build on D4. And and D3. Actually, no, wait. And B4.
Okay. Artemis. Here. Yeah. Zeus.
So I take the E3 worker, I move it to D4 and build under myself.
Yay, I helped.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's going good so far.
And it's quite centralized.
Ooh, this is getting me. I think.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Can I take it back?
Oh, I'll allow. Yeah.
Yeah. There, I'm gonna build there. Thanks, Nate.
And
Dang it, I think that like reduced my ability to be mean. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Oh wow, yeah, no, it didn't at all. Okay.
I'm kind of getting excited about this central
Yeah,
platform, though.
C3. Well, don't get too excited. C3 to B3. And build on both C3 and C4. Because it might not last long.
let's go with C2 to B2. Build on C3, of course, and A3. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
I forgot. You are Ermi's next turn.
Yeah.
And I
No,
think that would be.
but still,
hard.
I don't have that many options, so I guess I'll just go with this still.
Hermes, Kevin. Ouch.
Yeah, who'd have known it'd be the meek little Hermes to extract all the pain from you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we can just go ahead and build on C4 straight away. The other option would be stay where we are and build on B4. But I think making you guys jump down and then setting Hestia up for a double build win is pretty secure at this point. So we will stay where we are and we will drop a single block on C4.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, let's go to D3 and build on C4 and E2. Why not?
E.
E2, C2, it's the same.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to like not throw this to an Artemis double move, but it should be fine going to E4 and building both E3 and D4.
Yeah.
And E3.
And E3, right? Yep. Okay, so again, I'm interested in Bertrand and Kevin on the ends. Is this game experience worth having in an expansion?
I thought it was cool. I had unique skills that I brought to the team that only my power could do, and I thought that was nice.
Yeah, so I personally like to just watch a Santorini game played by high-level players. So I do it sometimes on BGA as well. And this is basically trying to watch a game, but you have sometimes you can act in the middle of it. So it's better than watching a game, which is something which I normally do myself.
Yeah.
So I cannot say that I don't like it, but yeah, I don't know what the majority of people will think about that.
The team base play is one of my favorite aspects of the game as well, and just to extend that to a higher player count and not leave anybody hanging when you have 5 people that want to play, that's a great way to include them.
I will say, being in the middle this time did make me feel like a sort of vague team captain in a way, where I was like, okay, well, next up is that guy, so gotta prepare for his power, and then other way around.
I liked having the strong power in the middle versus the weaker power in the middle. I think with Cronus in the middle last time, it kind of felt a little lackluster.
Yeah.
This was by far the best game of the 3.
And it's nice to see a game thought by several minds, which do not communicate between each other. Then we can see if we agree on the strategies. I really like this aspect.
David, did I totally mess up in this game? That time that I moved from here?
No,
Nice.
I think they
I
have
suspected-
a strong combination.
Yeah.
Really good at. I mean, Zeus can just defend in a single move, and
Yeah,
from there, Hermes also stabilizes, and it's tough to create threats against that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
move
think
where the both of Zeus moves were very good. The one to D3 build under himself, and the one to D4 and build under himself. We
Yeah.
couldn't do basically nothing.
We were able to gain central height more easily than the other
Yeah.
team, and they had basically only the option to gain perimeter height, and we just had more building options.
I think this could be slightly better if instead of Demeter it was Terpsichore. Maybe
Whoa.
that way, because
That'd be spicy.
building on the same square and having that option could be could work against Zeus sometimes.
It does seem kind of like the nuclear option, though, of them. Like not even going to like Prometheus or something.
Yeah.
Would
But
be
I think
interesting.
for 5 players, you want to keep the powers simple. So, for example, I think Charybdis is not a good power for this. And I mean, maybe Charybdis in positions B or D could work because you play 2 times in a row, let's say, but
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
still
tricky on the turns that they get to like try to counteract your this, but like
Yeah, I
try
think
is still decent.
that power in particular might be absolutely crippled if you had to wait like 4 turns or so, or even a couple of turns before you could make your power interact with itself with the 2 pools. Is there any merit in having 1 power as one of the teams and both players play as that power? For example, with Nate's suggestion of Terpsichore, what if both of the 2-man teams' power was Terpsichore and 3 different powers on it? I mean, I'm not saying like do that, but just kind of open that up for discussion. Do you guys think it'd be interesting or worth it at all to have one team gets 1 power only as just a variant, not as like the standard method of play? But do you think that would be fun if we had 2 Demeter turns, you know?
so we are having Echo as part of the one of the expansions, and Echo will copy another god power. So that allows you to at least do it for the 2-player game. But what is interesting is what happens if both teams just get 1 god, or let's say you just reduce the number of gods.
I mean, if both teams get 1 god, it's just like a 1v1 game with more steps, right?
or you could just play with 4 powers, and it was like A, B, C, D, and then A again, and the power A, I don't know, maybe 2 players would have power A, and they would switch. That is to avoid those situations where you, I don't know if it is good or bad that D plays 2 times in a row instead of D, B, D, B.
I actually like this aspect of having one god playing twice and then the ally playing twice.
Okay.
Because it really changes from the 4-player variant.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I also believe that if you want to get this into an expansion, then there should be a few recommended setups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys have any ideas for good power arrangements, yeah, pop them over. And I definitely think that now we're all better at doing this. Are you aware of all of the modes going into the game?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that I can share with you guys after this meeting.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's it's getting a little difficult to keep track of. I keep referencing that spreadsheet that you've got, and that's the only way I know
Yeah,
to
no,
kind of keep up
that's
with
old.
what's set in stone or whatever.
Right. Well, I'm not sure that it's old, but anyway, I can send you the newest one. Good. Well, thank you guys, and sorry it was kind of crude, but
No, we made it work. I'm quite pleased. I mean, what better way than to play with the actual play set, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, it was nice.
good. Take care, and we will talk.
It's all dangling now.
Sure.
I didn't really have much confusion about what was level 1 or 2.
Yeah, by pure chance, it seems to have worked out very well for the 3D representation.
Yeah. He got the shadows just right.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah, see you guys.